Have you ever noticed how some cars become more famous than the movies they starred in? What if I told you that a hot rod built in a garage by a guy who just wanted a cool ride to cruise would become the single most copied street rod in American history? Today we're counting down 20 weird facts about McCord's 1934 Ford from the California Kid, a car that started life as one man's personal hot rod and ended up defining what every street rod would try to look like for the next 50 years. From magazine covers to made-for-TV movies to launching one of the most famous hot rod shops in the world, this chopped three-window coupe has a story that's way stranger than the film that made it famous. So grab your shop manual and hit that subscribe button because we're about to dive deep into the black-flamed legend that is the California Kid. Number 20, built by Pete Shapouris. Before it was a movie star, before it was an icon, this 1934 Ford three-window coupe was just Pete Shapouris' personal hot rod. Pete wasn't famous yet. He was just a young guy in Southern California who loved traditional hot rods. This was his daily driver, his cruise night special, the car he'd take to burger joints and car shows. Pete built it the way he wanted, old school, traditional, the way hot rods looked in the 50s and early 60s, chopped top, black paint, flames, no fancy billet parts, no modern conveniences, just a pure, stripped-down hot rod. He finished it in 1972 when everyone else was building resto rods with perfect paint and chrome everything. Pete went the opposite direction, raw, mean, purposeful. The car was an extension of Pete's personality, uncompromising, traditional, a middle finger to the trends of the early 70s. He drove it everywhere, beat on it, used it like hot rods were meant to be used. Not a trailer queen, not a show car, just a hot rod. Then Hollywood came calling, and everything changed. Pete's personal ride was about to become the most influential hot rod of all time. Number 19. Magazine cover to movie. Here's how Hollywood works sometimes. Pure chance. The right photo at the right time. Pete's coupe appeared on the cover of Custom Rod magazine alongside Jake Jacobs' similar 34 coupe. Two black hot rods with flames, both gorgeous, both traditional. That magazine cover landed on the right desk at the right time. ABC was developing a made-for-TV movie about a hot-rodding rebel taking on a corrupt small-town sheriff. They needed a car. Not just any car. The car. Something that would scream rebellion, youth, danger. The producers saw that custom rod cover and knew they'd found it. These weren't just cars. They were rolling attitude. Perfect for their story. They contacted Pete directly. Wanted to use his car for the film. This wasn't some big-budget Hollywood production either. This was a TV movie, modest budget, quick shooting schedule, but Pete said yes. Why not? Get his car on television. Might be fun. Nobody knew this cheap TV movie would launch his car into the stratosphere of hot rod fame. One magazine cover changed everything. Without that photo, the California Kid might have been some forgettable fiberglass kit car. Instead, it became Pete's personally built hot rod. Number 18. Sparked Pete and Jake's. The movie aired in 1974. Suddenly, everyone wanted a car like the California Kid. Pete's phone wouldn't stop ringing. People offering to buy the car. People wanting him to build them one just like it. People asking where they could get those parts. That flame job, that stance. Pete realized something. There was a hunger out there for traditional hot rods. Real ones. Not the over-restored, over-chromed stuff that was popular. People wanted what he had. So Pete partnered with Jake from that magazine cover. They opened Pete and Jake's hot rod parts in 1974. The timing was perfect. The shop became ground zero for the traditional hot rod revival. They sold the parts you needed to build a car like the California Kid. Steel wheels, dropped axles, chopped tops, old school speed equipment. The shop's logo, a cartoon version of Pete's 34. The California Kid literally became their business card. Every part they sold was validated by that car. Proof that traditional hot rodding wasn't dead. It was just waiting for someone to bring it back. The shop is still around today, still selling traditional hot rod parts. All because of a TV movie car. Number 17. Old school on purpose. 1972 was a weird time for hot rods. The trend was toward resto rods. Perfect paint, every piece of chrome polished, modern engines with chrome valve covers, air conditioning, power, everything. Pete deliberately built his coupe to reject all of that. He wanted it to look like it stepped out of 1958. flat black paint with traditional flames, no chrome except what was absolutely necessary, steel wheels painted body color, bias ply tires. A flathead V8 would have been perfect, but he went with a small block Chevy for reliability. Everything else was period correct. The stance was crucial. Dropped axle in front, just the right amount of rake, not too low, not cartoonish. The exact stance hot rods had in the late 50s. This was rebellion through tradition. While everyone else was modernizing, Pete was going backwards, on purpose, with intent. He was making a statement. Hot rods didn't need to be perfect, they needed to be cool, raw, emotional. The car influenced an entire movement. Suddenly, traditional was cool again. Primer was acceptable. Imperfection was authentic. Pete's 34 proved you didn't need a $100,000 build to have a legendary hot rod. Number 16. Halibrands to Steelies. When Pete drove his coupe on the street, it wore Halibrand magnesium wheels. Classic 50s race car wheels, expensive, gorgeous, perfect for the car. But when the movie producers saw them, they had other ideas. Too modern, they said. Too fancy for a rebel kid's hot rod. They wanted something that looked more working class, more attainable. So, off came the Halibrands. On went red steel wheels with baby moon hubcaps. Completely changed the car's personality. The steel wheels made it look meaner, more affordable, like something a real kid might actually build in his garage. This was 1974, remember. The movie was set in 1958. The producers wanted authenticity. Steel wheels were what hot rodders ran in the 50s when they couldn't afford mags. The swap was temporary, just for filming. But those red steel wheels became part of the car's iconic look. Most people remember the California kid with steel wheels, not the Halibrands. Funny how a budget decision by TV producers ended up defining the car's most memorable appearance. After filming, Pete put his Halibrands back on, but the damage was done. The image was burned into everyone's mind. Red steel wheels became part of the California kid legend. Number 15. Fake side pipes. Added. Here's something that drives Pete crazy to this day. The movie producers bolted fake side pipes to his car. Completely non-functional, just chrome tubes attached to the rocker panels for looks. Pete hated them. They weren't traditional. They weren't period correct. They were just Hollywood nonsense. But the producers insisted, said it made the car look faster, more aggressive, more dangerous. These weren't even connected to the exhaust system. The real exhaust exited under the car like normal. The side pipes were pure decoration, chrome props bolted to his carefully built hot rod. During filming, the fake pipes kept coming loose, dragging on the ground during driving scenes. The crew would have to stop and reattach them. Pete would shake his head. This wasn't what hot rodding was about. After filming Wrapped, first thing Pete did was unbolt those ridiculous side pipes, threw them in the trash. Good riddance. But watch the movie today and there they are. Chrome tubes running along the sides. People still ask him about them at car shows. He still hates them. 50 years later, those fake Hollywood side pipes still annoy the guy who built the car. Number 14. C-channel rear bumper. The rear bumper setup was pure hot rod fabrication, not a Ford part, not a parts store item, custom made from C-channel steel, welded up specifically for this car. This replaced the heavy factory bumper that would have been on a stock 34. The C-channel was lighter, cleaner, more purposeful. It tucked up tight against the body. No massive chrome railroad tie hanging off the back. This was functional minimalism. Protection without excess. The fabricated bumper also allowed Pete to mount the license plate exactly where he wanted it, centered, clean, not hanging off some bracket, everything integrated into the design. This kind of detail is what separated real hot rods from wannabes. Anyone could bolt on parts. It took skill to fabricate custom pieces that looked like they belonged. The C-channel bumper became another copied element. After the movie, everyone wanted that tucked, minimal rear bumper look. Hot rod shops started making them, selling them, all copying Pete's design from his personal car. Another piece of the California kid DNA that spread through the hot rod world. Simple, clean, purpose-built. Everything a hot rod bumper should be. Number 13. Three-window coupe star. The 1934. Ford three-window coupe is the holy grail of hot rod bodies. More desirable than a roadster, rarer than a sedan. The perfect shape for chopping and customizing, and Pete's was a genuine Henry Ford steel body. Not fiberglass, not a replica. Real 1934 Detroit iron. The three-window refers to the side glass configuration, one door window on each side, one rear window, that's it, versus the five-window with quarter windows behind the doors. The three-window looked cleaner, smoother. more streamlined when chopped, this body style carried the entire movie. Martin Sheen was the star, but the coupe was the real lead. Every poster, every promotional photo, every memorable scene. The car dominated the frame. It had presence, weight, authority. When McCord drove through town in that coupe, you felt it. The rumble, the menace, the barely controlled violence of a chopped three-window with a built small block. This wasn't just transportation, it was a statement. A rolling rebellion. The three-window shape became so associated with hot rodding that prices exploded. Original bodies became impossible to find. The California Kid made the three-window coupe the ultimate hot rod. Everyone wanted one, few could afford one. Number 12, Buzz's garage pit scenes. Some of the movie's best scenes happened in Buzz's garage. The car perched on wooden ramps over an old-school grease pit, McCord underneath, wrenching on his ride, classic hot rodder imagery. This was real 1950s garage stuff. Before hydraulic lifts, before professional shops, just planks over a hole in the ground. Crawl down in the pit. Work on your car standing up. These scenes established McCord as a real hot rodder, not just some punk with a fast car. He knew his machine, could fix it, improve it, make it faster. The garage scenes also showed the car from angles people hadn't seen. Underneath the chassis, the suspension, the exhaust, all that mechanical beauty usually hidden from view, Pete's car looked good from below too. Clean, purposeful, no shortcuts. Everything done right. The wooden ramps creaked under the car's weight, added tension to the scenes. Would they hold? Would the car fall? That danger was real. Those ramps were sketchy, but that's how it was done back then. The grease pit scenes grounded the movie in authentic hot rod culture. This wasn't Hollywood fantasy. This was how real hot rodders worked on their cars. Number 11. Dialogue sells speed. There's a line in the movie that makes every car guy smile. McCord's character bragging about his coupe. 75 miles per hour in 10 seconds. That's quick even by today's standards. In 1958, when the movie was set, that was absolutely flying. The dialogue sold the car as genuinely fast, not just looking fast, being fast. This wasn't some pretty boy's show car, this was a serious piece of machinery, built for speed, built to run. The bragging was part of hot rod culture. My car's faster than yours, want to prove it? Let's go. The specific numbers mattered, 75 in 10 seconds, precise, measurable, a challenge. Come beat it if you can. Pete's actual car was definitely quick. Small block Chevy, 4-barrel carb, headers, dual exhaust, 3-speed transmission, it would move. But 75 in 10 seconds? That was Hollywood exaggeration. Didn't matter. The dialogue established the car's reputation, made it legendary before we even saw it race. Words creating mythology. The California Kid wasn't just cool looking, it was genuinely fast. The dialogue said so. Number 10. Post-movie revert. As soon as filming wrapped, Pete started undoing Hollywood's modifications. Off came those ridiculous fake side pipes. First thing to go, into the garbage. Good riddance. The red steel wheels came off next. Back on went his original Hallebrand mags, the proper wheels. The ones he'd chosen, the ones that belonged. Various brackets and mounts that held cameras and lights were removed. Holes were filled. Damage was repaired. The car needed to become his hot rod again, not a movie prop. His personal ride. The interesting thing is, Pete didn't change everything back. The flames stayed exactly as they were. The stance remained the same. The chopped top obviously couldn't be undone. The car had evolved during its Hollywood adventure. It was still Pete's hot rod, but now it carried this additional identity. The California Kid. Like it or not, that's what it would always be now. Pete drove it for years afterward, still took it to shows, still cruised it, but everywhere he went, people recognized it. Not as Pete's coupe, as the California Kid. The movie had permanently altered the car's identity. Even with Pete's modifications reversed, it would never be just another hot rod again. Number 9. Movie made the nickname. Before the film, nobody called Pete's car the California Kid. It was just Pete's 34, Pete's coupe, that black deuce with flames. The movie created the nickname that became inseparable from the car. Now it's impossible to imagine this car being called anything else. The California Kid. It rolls off the tongue. Sounds dangerous, rebellious, perfect. The name transcended the movie. People who've never seen the film know about the California Kid. It became bigger than its origin, a legend that outgrew its source. Car shows advertise the California Kid will be appearing. Not Pete Chapouras's 34 Ford. The California Kid, like it's a celebrity. Which, in the car world, It absolutely is. The name also got applied to other cars. Any black 34 with flames might get called a California Kid clone. The name became a template, a style, a genre of hot rod. Pete never named his car the California Kid. Hollywood did that, but the name stuck harder than any paint job. 50 years later, that's still what everyone calls it. The movie might be forgotten, but the name lives forever. The California Kid. 3 words that define an entire era of hot rodding. Number 8. Industry, icon, status. After the movie, something unexpected happened. Everyone started copying the California Kid, not just influenced by it, straight up copying it. Black 34 3-window coupes with flames started appearing everywhere. Car shows, magazines, the street. Some were tributes, homages, others were exact replicas. Every detail duplicated. The chop-to-top height, the flame pattern, the stance, the red steel wheels from the movie, clone after clone after clone. It became the most copied hot rod in history. More replicated than the graffiti coupe, more than any Barris custom, more than any other famous hot rod you can name. Fiberglass companies started making 3-window bodies specifically so people could build California Kid replicas. Model companies released kits. Die-cast versions appeared. Posters, t-shirts. The car became an industry unto itself. Pete's personal hot rod had become public domain. Everyone felt they owned a piece of it, could build their own version, claim that connection to the legend. The copying continues today. Go to any major car show, you'll see California Kid clones, some beautiful, some terrible, all trying to capture that magic. The original created an entire category, a template for what a traditional hot rod should look like. Number 7, producer pedigree. The guy who pushed to get Pete's car in the movie wasn't some nobody. This was Howie Horwitz, the producer who'd worked on Batman, The Green Hornet, major television productions with serious car content. Horwitz knew vehicles, understood their importance to a story. He'd worked with George Barris on the Batmobile, seen how the right car could define a show, make it memorable, create merchandising opportunities. When Horwitz saw Pete's coupe, he knew this was the one. This would make his modest TV movie special. He fought for it, convinced ABC to pay for the car rental, the modifications, the insurance, the transportation, all for a made-for-TV movie with a limited budget. Horwitz understood something the executives didn't. The car would be the star. People would remember the car long after they forgot the plot. He was absolutely right. Horwitz's Hollywood experience meant he knew how to film the car too, how to light it, what angles worked, how to make it look heroic, dangerous, beautiful. His producer pedigree elevated what could have been a forgettable TV movie into something iconic, all because he recognized a star when he saw one, even if that star had 4 wheels and a flame job. Number 6, period correct de-chrome delete before it was trendy. Pete deliberately removed almost every piece of bright work from the car. No chrome bumpers, no chrome trim, no chrome grille shell. Everything either painted or just left off entirely. This was authentic 1950s hot rodding. Chrome was expensive back then. Young hot rodders couldn't afford to get everything chromed, so they painted it or ran without it, made the cars look meaner, more purposeful, less precious. Pete studied period photos, old hot rod magazines, really understood the aesthetic. The dechromed look wasn't about being cheap in 1972. It was about being accurate, authentic, true to the period. The only chrome on the car was necessary stuff, door handles, a few small functional pieces. Everything else was black or body color. This influenced a whole generation of builders. Suddenly, chrome wasn't mandatory. You could build a gorgeous hot rod without spending thousands on plating. Paint was cool. Primer was acceptable. Raw metal was authentic. The de-chromed look became part of the traditional hot rod rulebook, another California Kid influence that shaped how people build cars. Less is more. Function over flash. Let the shape and stance do the talking, not the shiny bits. Number 5, flame job continuity. Those flames weren't just decoration, they were the car's signature, the identity, the thing everyone remembered. Black paint, red to yellow traditional flames, outlined in white pinstriping. Classic, perfect, timeless. The flame pattern became so iconic it's been copied thousands of times. Every clone tries to duplicate those exact flames. The way they flow, the way they lick back from the grill, the way they end at the doors. Pete had them painted before the movie. They weren't added for Hollywood. This was his personal choice, his style. Traditional flames like they did in the 50s, not wild, not overdone, just right. During filming, the producers wanted to change them, make them bigger, wilder, more dramatic. Pete refused. These were his flames. Take them or leave them. They took them. The flames survived filming intact, no touch-ups needed, no modifications. They looked perfect on camera, photographed beautifully, became the poster image, the promotional material, the thing everyone remembered. Those flames are still on the car today. Same pattern, same colors, touched up over the years but never changed. They're as much a part of the California Kid as the chopped top. You can't imagine the car without them. Number 4. Vintage Tin Roots. Pete built this car while he was in the Vintage Tin Car Club. This wasn't just any car club. These guys were serious about traditional hot rodding. They studied the own history, understood the culture, built their cars right. Vintage Tin was about authenticity, building cars the way they were built in the 50s and 60s, no modern shortcuts, no billet aluminum, everything, just traditional techniques and period-correct parts. The club influenced how Pete built his coupe. Every decision filtered through that traditional lens. Would this be right for the period? Is this how they would have done it? The club members pushed each other, shared knowledge, helped with builds. Pete's coupe was a vintage tin car through and through. You could see it in every detail. The stance, the wheels, the paint, the attitude. When the coupe became famous, it reflected well on Vintage Tin. Proved they were doing it right, building real hot rods, not fashion statements. The club's influence on the car helped make it timeless. It looked right in 1972. Looked right in the movie set in 1958. Still looks right today. That's what happens when you build with respect for tradition. The style never goes out of style. Number 3. Red wheels for film stills. Those red steel wheels from the movie, they're documented in hundreds of period photos, production stills, behind-the-scenes shots, publicity photos, magazine features, all showing the car with red steelies instead of Pete's Halibrands. These photos became the historical record. When people research the California Kid, this is what they find. Red wheels, baby moon hubcaps, the movie version, not Pete's street version. It's created confusion over the years, people arguing about what wheels are correct for the California Kid. The Halibrands Pete chose, or the red steelies Hollywood insisted on? Both are correct, depending on your perspective. The photos also show other temporary modifications, the fake side pipes, camera mounts, different license plates for different scenes. All documented in black and white, these images spread the California Kid legend, appeared in magazines worldwide, inspired builders in other countries who'd never seen the actual car. Just these photos. These film stills became the blueprint for thousands of clones, everyone building their version based on these publicity shots. Not the actual car Pete built, but Hollywood's version of it. The red wheels in those photos influenced more builds than Pete's original Halibrands ever did. Number 2, lifelong showpiece. 50 years later, the California Kid is still making appearances, still drawing crowds, still the star attraction wherever it goes. Pete couldn't have imagined this when he built it. He just wanted a cool hot rod to drive. Instead, he created an obligation, a responsibility. The car can't just disappear into a private collection. People need to see it, experience it, hear it run. It appears at major shows, Goodwood, SEMA, the Grand National Roadster Show, always surrounded by crowds, always the center of attention. 3 generations of hot rodders have now seen this car in person. Grandparents who watched the movie when it first aired, their kids who grew up seeing it at shows, their grandchildren discovering it fresh. The car has educated thousands about traditional hot rodding, what it means, why it matters, how it should be done. Pete still occasionally drives it to events, fires up that small block, lets people hear what a real hot rod sounds like. No trailer queen treatment. This thing still moves under its own power, the way Pete built it, the way it was meant to be. A working hot rod that just happens to be the most famous 34 Ford on Earth. Number 1, car eclipsed the plot. Here's the ultimate weird fact. Nobody remembers what the California Kid movie was actually about. Seriously, ask any car person about the California Kid and they'll describe the car, not the plot, not the characters, the car. Something about a sheriff? Martin Sheen was in it. There was a cliff. The details are fuzzy, but that black 34 with flames? Crystal clear, every detail burned into memory. The movie was a typical made-for-TV thriller. Small town corruption. Young rebel stands up to authority. Justice prevails. Standard stuff. Forgettable, except for one thing, that incredible car. The car became bigger than the movie. More important, more lasting, more influential. The movie is a footnote in television history. The car is a cornerstone of hot rod culture. This wasn't supposed to happen. TV movies were disposable entertainment, watch once, forget forever. But the car transcended its origin. became something bigger. Pete's personal hot rod achieved immortality, not because of the story it told on screen, but because of what it represented off-screen. Traditional hot rodding, rebellion, authenticity, cool. The California Kid proved that sometimes the prop becomes more important than the production. Sometimes the car is the real star. And there you have it. 20 weird facts about the California Kid, a hot rod that started as one man's personal project and became the template for every traditional hot rod built since. From Pete Chapouras's garage to primetime television to permanent icon status, this Chop 34 Ford proved that sometimes the coolest cars are the ones built with passion, not money. Did we miss any California Kid facts you know? Drop them in the comments below, and let us know what other famous movie cars deserve this deep dive treatment. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for gearing up with us, and we'll see you next time when we uncover more legendary rides hiding in Hollywood history.